Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to run an email I was sent from a subscriber. This is my guy, he is in his 40s. He has been happily married for many years now. He has 2 daughters, darn good life. And he shares his story from like 20 years ago, how ultimately he had the last laugh on this gal that he was really into and who deliberately messed with his mind and all that for quite a while. And how you're going to see that in college, he was a football player, and because he was focused on the game and everything else, he had girls chasing after him left and right. However, this particular girl, for whatever reason, she did it for him, and he started chasing after her. And as they do, she friend-zoned him and messed with his mind and jerked him around and all that. But ultimately, you're going to see how this guy comes back to his senses, puts her in her place, and holy crap, of course, they always come back. And I'll be an entertaining one to go over here, guys, making the point that, number one, you should always chase your purpose, not women. When guys chase women like that or over-pursue, they get dumped in friend zone. And how women have no problem using them, taking advantage of them, and all that, you can't let that happen. But once you wake up to reality and put them in their place, it's amazing how they always come back for you. It's hilarious. But before I get into that, guys, real quick, I'm going to go over an entertaining article here that maybe some of you guys heard about, coming from the Garden State, New Jersey, about a female police officer who's now will never be a cop again, is being fined, and is doing a little time after she had a freaking meltdown on an ex-boyfriend and his girlfriend. It's pretty funny here. And I will post a link to this article and another link to the article where you actually see what she looks like here. And it's a classic example of, look out for the crazy eyes. And this article is titled, New Jersey cop accused in home invasion at ex-boyfriend's house admits guilt, will forfeit job, officials say. Now listen to this. It says a Toms River police officer accused earlier this year of breaking into her former boyfriend's home pleaded guilty Monday and will now forfeit her position with the department, authorities said. Rebecca Say, S-A-Y-E-G-H. I'll just call her Say. Rebecca Say, 32, of Toms River pleaded guilty to burglary, criminal mischief, and simple assault, according to a statement from the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office. Say once lived in the home with her former boyfriend, whom she dated for 5 years, according to her attorney, Terrence Turnbach. She was off duty when she used a baton to smash the front door glass and enter the home in the Bayville section of Berkeley on April 25th at 11:20 p.m., as her boyfriend and his new girlfriend sat in the living room, according to prosecutors. She is a cop, doing this, breaking in with her baton, and off she goes. Yeah, bees be crazy. And again, guys, click on the link. I'll let you make up your mind what she looks like and see if you connect some dots. Say began arguing with the pair about entering, and the verbal dispute turned physical when Say began pushing and shoving both victims, according to the assistant prosecutor Isabella Young. The woman suffered swelling to the eye when Say poked her with her fingernails, Young said. Say threw a plant back in the living room and then went upstairs to break items, rip up pictures off the wall, as her ex-boyfriend and other women retreated to the backyard to call 911, Young said. Holy crap. Now, who knows what she's PO'd about here, but probably this guy moving on, I don't know, but she's a cop. She also scratched the hood of one of the victim's vehicles, authorities said. Say also tried to fight with responding officers and physically resisted being arrested, authorities said. She was also accused of threatening to burn the house down as police walked her down the driveway. Alas, no fury. She caused $2,000 worth of damages to the house and $500 in damage to the car, Young said. Following her arrest, she was released from the Ocean County Jail as a consequence of New Jersey bail reform, the officer said. Of course she walked, no problem there. Say now faces 3 months in jail as a condition of probation and will likely be ordered to have no contact with the victims and will have to pay restitution to them, officials said. In addition to forfeiting her position with the department, her plea deal will not allow her to be publicly employed in the state, the office said. You're darn right she should not be publicly employed as a cop or as anything for the state. Say had filed a lawsuit against the department and township last year, alleging, wait for this, that former Toms River Police Chief Mitch Little and other superiors harassed her and passed her up for promotions based on her gender. In the lawsuit, she alleged a boys' club atmosphere prevailed. Is that impossible? No. But given her behavior, perhaps there's a reason why she didn't get promoted. Perhaps they saw something there. You get my point. And now, because she's pissed off about that, was saying some things happen. She's killed her credibility with her actions here. As of Monday afternoon, the lawsuit was still pending, according to online court records. And there you go, another little news article about a crazy, but holy crap. All right, on to the main story. This guy says here, good evening, SSM. I have a story that goes back to 2005. I truly hope it can help young men during today's trying dating times. I'm currently in my 40s with a lovely wife and 2 wonderful daughters. The story goes back to my college days before the manosphere began. I played fullback for a Division I AA school, so I never had a problem getting women. The difference is I was focusing on myself while in college and not making much time for dating. He already said there, no problem getting women. Not just because he was a football player, but also focusing on himself, not making much time for dating. He was chasing his purpose, football, kicking butt in school, kicking butt in the team, all that, and they were chasing him, not the other way around. Well, watch what happens when he does the exact opposite. See the effect it has on a woman. I quit playing football before entering my last 3 years of college because I already had a career lined up after I applied and became a summer intern for a major corporation. The career put me in line to make several $100,000 a year. Damn, dude. That's awesome. My last year in college, I met a woman through a mutual female friend that I was infatuated with. Oh boy, here we go. I wasn't in love because I knew I had to play the long game to see if she was number one. She was the one. Smack! There is no the one. It's nonsense. Let us call her Minister Girl. I call her that because she was supposedly an ordained minister while we were in college. Oh, for God's sakes. Well, we're not going to call her Minister Girl. We're going to call her Minister Jessica because it's appropriate. Let the many smacks begin. Yeah, dude, my hand is ready. Well, I asked her out, knowing her for about 2 months. You waited too long. We went out a couple times with some signs of a relationship possibility. She asked if we could be friends. Something tells me it has nothing to do with God. Obviously, you were probably over-pursuing and turned her off, even though you were the big man on campus as a football player, and I'm sure you were still popular even if you weren't playing football at that point. Unfortunately, I accepted because I thought that she was one of a kind. Smack! You never accept the friend zone, guys. If you I can't be any more fucking clear here because this is not a relationship channel, but I gotta say this. If you ask a woman out, you like her, you're attracted to her, you don't want to be her buddy, and she turns you down, okay, no problem, don't be an asshole, but don't accept being her buddy because you're full of crap. She knows you're full of crap. And now she'll parade you around like a little puppy. Ooh, look at my little friend Joe here. Move on to some girl that likes you. Trying the friendship route ain't going to work. But he was young. He had to learn. Our friendship lasted a couple of years. It wasn't a friendship, dude. It was a fucking fraud. You were just waiting. I met her parents during this time, and they absolutely enjoyed my company every time I saw them. When I saw this wasn't going anywhere, I tried to pull myself together and slowly walk away. Good. He finally had some integrity. And watch what happens when the guy starts to walk away and put his attention elsewhere. Women are the same, guys, all over the world. It doesn't make any difference what time period it is. Well, I would call her less and less, and she started getting busy with my own, and I started getting busy with my own life. They already said there, I started calling her less and less. In other words, for 2 years as her friend, you were chasing after her, calling her all the time, and she just sat back, didn't have to do anything, because good little puppy dog kept pursuing and pursuing. That turns women off. Notice when you didn't do that shit, the girls in school liked you and chased after you. Every time I did that, she would somehow convince me that there would still be a chance. I overheard a conversation between her parents and Minister Jessica. Her parents told me, do not drag me along. Either commit to a relationship with me or let it go. She claimed that they were pressuring her too much, so I assumed they had this conversation before. I also heard she was into another guy that did not show her any attention at all. I was confused. I'm not confused. The brothers aren't confused. He wasn't showing her any attention, so now her attention was on him. That's how it works. Now, we can all tell here she's an asshole and uses guys, but that's besides the point. You messed up. Well, as I would pull back, she would always keep giving me false hopes of a relationship getting ready to brew between us. Well, why do you need a relationship? Why can't you just fuck her? Then move on. But oh well. So I kept simping. I know, smack. She met my parents at my college graduation party. They seemed to like her at first. She found out my mother and father made good money because of the house we lived in. They weren't rich, but they did well financially. Aha! Now she finds out your family has some money. Watch this. Afterwards, she became a leech. Aha! Minister Jessica got good enough with my parents that she even asked my mom to help her get a job. My mother was glad to assist her. Our mutual friend called one day to check on me and to tell me something. She asked if Minister Jessica was there, and I said yes. She said, I'll call you later. Before I knew it, they had spoken to each other afterwards. Minister Jessica tried to do damage control. She said, T is going to tell you that I'm using you as a jump-off. My antenna went up right away. I let her finish, and I said to her, listen to me good. If I ever catch wind that you're using me like a jump-off, our friendship, relationship, whatever you call it, is over. Let's just say it didn't take long. Of course she was using you. Now, I get you were much younger, didn't know any better and all that, but my God, dude. Please tell me at this point when you're spending more time, at least you got some ass out of this. You know? I mean, seriously? We went on a trip out of town with her best friend, a female's 25th birthday. Every single female friend of hers called me cute right to my face. She wasn't too thrilled about that, but at the time, I didn't give a damn. Yeah, you had all these babes after you that liked you, that were attracted to you, but you didn't care because you wanted Minister Jessica. Let me backtrack a bit. Before the whole trip, I told her, I just paid my mortgage. I'm going on this road trip for you. You need to cover the cost of all the tolls and fill up my gas tank at least one time. Well, we get to the first toll, which was $6. $6 and 20 years ago, that's an expensive fucking toll. I stuck my hand out. She looked at me scared and shook her head no. Even though it was $6. I was pissed off. I lectured her for an hour because of how mad I was. So you're going on this road trip for her friend's birthday or whatever. You're taking her, your car, your time, your money, and she's supposed to pay things. She's like, oops, I don't have any money. I guess the minister didn't get her offering at her church services on Sunday. I would have turned around and fucking left. I asked her, how are you going to eat? She looked and said like I was supposed to care. Let's just say I ate good. All she got was fries and water because she knew she was in the female doghouse, if you know what I mean. Well, we got to our destination. I wanted to get some sleep, but she wanted to go out somewhere. I said no. I'm getting some sleep and we can start our day tomorrow. She was pissed off, but I didn't care. The next day, the person's house we spent the night at asked if she wanted breakfast. Minister Jessica said no, we are getting ready to leave. The host asked me, do you want something to eat? And I politely said yes, because I wanted to get every free meal that I could get. Minister Jessica got angry and said, I'm going to need you to hurry up. I said, my car, so you will wait for me as long as I want and have a nice leisurely breakfast. See all the bullshit she's pulling with him? Because this guy at this point clearly is close to being done. So now he's back taking care of himself, doing what he wants to do. And she's testing the fuck out of him because she expects him just to kiss her ass and be a little puppy dog and obedient and all that. That's what happens when guys behave a certain way for a long time. Women have a hard time thinking that you can actually change. And I might add, she's just an asshole. Again, I would have left her there, dude, but if you had to go through this to learn something, so be it. Well, she huffed and puffed and walked away. When we got in the car, she said we could have gone to McDonald's. I said, oh yeah, with whose money? She shut her mouth and that because she knew I was pissed off. I said again, you're being ungrateful and disrespectful, and I almost turned the car around at the first toll booth and took you home. So you better show me some gratitude. She shut her mouth for the rest of the trip. Well, that sounds like gratitude to me, silence. The party was over, and I needed to get some sleep. I had to hurry up and drive 4 hours because my nephew, godson, was getting baptized. Oh yeah? I'm assuming Minister Jessica's not baptizing your godson. The following morning, I went to pick up my car, but Minister Jessica was still inside talking to her best friend. I was getting ready to say, I'm going to need to hurry up, but her best friend looked at my annoyed face and said, it's time for you to go. Fast forward, I made plans after this trip to ghost her, especially after confirming she used me like a jump-off. She was using you, dude. End of story. And I guarantee you, she was hooking up with the guys that didn't kiss her ass and all that. But even after you started treating her like this, still, in her mind, he's the same kiss-ass SIMP that he was all along. And you did behave that way for a long time. Well, I totally ghosted her the summer of 2006. 3 months later, I met and started dating my now wife of 15 years. Thank the Lord. But, you know what, one can say that maybe if you didn't go through this experience with Minister Jessica and learn where you screwed up, assuming you learned, then you wouldn't have connected so well with your wife. Because you can't tell me when you met your wife that there weren't tests. There weren't some minimal BS that went on and you probably handled it right. Well, Minister Jessica found out from two of my friends that worked at the job my mother helped her get. They told her she had a blank look on her face. They truly thought she ran away to cry. This was after her minister crush ghosted her. Yeah, you were her backup plan. Well, 4 years later, listen to this, they always come back. Minister Jessica found out I wasn't married yet. She reached out to me through Facebook. I befriended her long enough just to find out what her motive was. I told her about our jump-off conversation and said I meant what I said. I couldn't believe she had the nerve to think I was going to give up what I had for more BS from her. I'm not surprised. That's what they do. That's what they think. But they always come back. And she thinks that she was such a catch, and she's still such a catch, you'll put up with it. Well, that was the last time we talked. I deleted her and blocked her. I also told her to get rid of my phone number and never contact me again. The end. So the point of the whole thing, lots of points are, yes, they always come back. And yes, they seem to think they're always so amazing, no matter how much of a pain in the ass they were and all that, and no matter how much time has gone by. So guys, you ever had a girl that jerked you around and all that? Understand this, sooner or later, when you finally move on from putting up with that crap, the odds are one day you'll hear from her. As long as she wants something, you'll hear from her. And usually gals that behave this way are annoying enough that sooner or later they're going to be back. And of course, you can have the last laugh and click delete and never hear from them again. But also the lesson in this story, as you've picked up, don't be that guy. You like a girl, you ask her out. If she rejects you, fine. As long as she isn't like, an asshole about it, okay, no problem. You do not stick around as her buddy, her friend, and basically be her chauffeur and the guy she listens to for all her problems and her therapist and buying her drinks and all that stupid shit, hoping that you get your chance with her. You don't have a chance with her. Okay, end of story. The best thing you can do is walk away. Say I'm not interested in being friends, but, hey, whatever. Best of luck and move on. You might just get a call from her next week and she wants to hook up with you. Who knows? But then again, why would you? You do not do what this guy did, and you can see how they jerk around and treat a guy. You focus on yourself, your purpose, all that, they'll come after you, if indeed that's what you want. So guys, there you go. So bro, good job. Moving on, I'm glad that you have a good marriage and family, and you never know, you may hear from Minister Jessica again, because they, again, always come back. She may have shown up at your fucking door. Who the fuck knows? But then again, your wife will probably slap the shit out of her. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you got a great story you want to share. You got something about a girl that once treated like crap and came back for more. Let's hear about it. Send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good story, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.